Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here tonight with your AEW Dynamite review on Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. I hope everybody had a great Wednesday night watching your Wednesday night professional wrestling. I certainly did. Very good show tonight by AEW. Not perfect by any means. We'll talk about what I thought about tonight's show. We'll talk about everything that happened. We got a big announcement by Kenny Omega, a belated Valentine's Day present from Kenny Omega that he gave to Jon Moxley. We're going to talk about that at the end. I can't wait to see the shills, the WWE shills, cry about this one on social media. It makes sense. I'm going to tell you about it why. I'm going to tell you why it makes sense to have this match with Omega and Moxley at Revolution. But thank you for joining me here tonight on the channel. I appreciate all of you. I watched the video. I checked before Dynamite went on the air tonight. So far for AEW reviews of 2021, we are averaging 100 views a video. I calculated it and all that stuff. We are averaging 100 views a video for AEW on Wednesday nights. So I really appreciate that. And I got a big announcement. I think you guys saw it on Twitter. I might as well just say it right now. Wednesday nights, it's going to look pretty different here on the Big Fight Field channel. So for now on, folks, on Wednesday nights, this is starting March 3rd. I will not be alone like I am right now on Wednesday nights. I'm actually going to have a co-host here with me, breaking down his thoughts on AEW and the show Dynamite. He's been on the channel here 2 times, and he is my co-host in 2 weeks for the AEW Dynamite reviews. From here on out on Wednesday nights, that is Wesley Williams. He will be my co-host for AEW Dynamite reviews on Wednesday nights. Let's get started with the show. It started off with a tag team match with the Hybrid 2, Jack Evans and Angelico, against Matt Hardy and Adam Hangman Page. They had an 8-minute tag team match, solid match for what it was. Hangman Page has a great hot tag. Got tags from Matt Hardy. Hangman was setting up for the buckshot lariat. Matt Hardy tagged himself in. He got beat up for a little bit. Jack Evans botched a Phoenix Splash, which barely hit Matt Hardy. But besides that, the match was pretty solid. Hangman hit the buckshot on Angelico. He hit the buckshot on Angelico. Matt Hardy hit Twist of Fate on Jack Evans. And Matt Hardy and Hangman Page got the victory. And then Matt Hardy took the microphone and he said, "Give it up for Hangman Page, my new client. And I will be getting, blah, 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 30% of your money and all that stuff." Then Hangman Page says, "Matt, you did not read the contract. What you didn't read, you didn't read the contract fully. So if we could have someone bring it out to the ring, please." So you had the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot, Jackson Duvall, bring out the contract to Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy was joking about it. He thought it was all fine and all that. But Matt Hardy reads the contract, and it says it's that Hangman Page, the contract that he signed last week, was a match against Matt Hardy at Revolution. And what it said on that contract as if Matt Hardy lost to Hangman Page, Matt Hardy would lose 100% of his earnings from quarter one. So Matt Hardy was all pissed off. Big Money Matt, his gimmick. He's pissed off that he's losing all this money. So he says, well, if I'm putting all my money up on the line, you might as well put all your money up on the line too. And then he said, if you lose, he said to Hangman, if you lose 100% of all of your quarter one earnings. So we got a big money match between Hangman Page and Matt Hardy at Revolution. Then Jackson Duvall attacks Hangman Page. It turned out to be Isaiah Cassidy. He attacked Hangman. Matt Hardy said, TH2, you want to make, it was like $37,000 or something like that. You want to make $37,000? Attack Hangman Page. So they immediately sprinted into the ring, attacked Hangman Page. Then out came the Dark Order. Everybody ran off from Matt Hardy. He had 5 with a standoff against Matt Hardy. And that was that. So we are getting Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page at Revolution. I like it. I like the story that, you know, Matt was trying to get Hangman's money, but Hangman outsmarted Big Money Matt. And Matt Hardy doesn't usually get outsmarted like that. So I like this. I think the match at Revolution should be good. And that's that. That was your opening to tonight's Dynamite. Not bad. We then had Rijo versus Serena Deeb in the first round of the AEW Women's Eliminator Tournament. The winner would go on to face Thunder Rosa in a predetermined date. I don't know when that is. It's not next week. But this was my favorite match of the night. And I don't remember the last time I said a women's match in AEW was my favorite match of the night. We need to see more matches like this on TNT by AEW. This was a great women's match between two great women's wrestlers. Rijo had her first match back with AEW since, I believe Tony Schiavone said, I don't know, March 18th of last year. I have no idea, but he said she hasn't had a match with AEW since March of last year. So, glad to see Rijo back. I mean, a lot of people don't like Rijo. I am a fan of Rijo. She's a good wrestler, good baby face. She had a great match with Serena Deeb. Great back and forth. The story was both of their left knees were hurting them. Serena Deeb went after the left knee of Rijo because Rijo has, you know, she's small and she has small knees. So Deeb decided to go after the knee, and Serena Deeb had a brace on her knee, so that's why she said she was out of action for the last couple of weeks, is because she had some knee problems. And then, yet Serena Deeb put a submission hold on Rijo. I thought she was going to tap right there. Rijo got to the rope. Then they had a face-off in the middle of the ring. And this was very close to being a draw. There were 5 minutes left when the match was over, so they gave them time. What I have written down on my notebook here, they had the most time tonight for a match. They had 15 minutes, which is pretty good. And I like women at this spot. I don't like, it's like every single week they're at the second to last match before the main event. The last match before the main event comes on every single week. It's the women, it's the women, it's the women. I don't really like that, but I like where they put the women in spot tonight. They had a great match. Rijo won after a series of roll-ups, and now she is going on to face Thunder Rosa in the women's tournament. Should be a great match. But speaking of the women's tournament, I did not get a chance to watch the Japanese side of the women's tournament. I know one of the favorites over there, Maki Ito, was the favorite to come out of that Japanese side to go up against one of the U.S. competitors. She lost in the first round, which I was surprised by. I did not get to watch it yet. I'm going to watch it sometime this week, hopefully. But Excalibur announced that next week on Monday, we are going to get Britt Baker versus Anna Jay, first round match. Tai Conti versus Nyla Rose, first round match. And then on the Japanese side, we're going to get Yuka Sakazaki versus Emi Sakura in semifinals. And I forget one of the women's name. I apologize if I forgot her name. She was the woman who defeated Maki Ito. She will go one-on-one against Aja Kong. So that is that. We then had Orange Cassidy versus Luther. 2 minutes here. Orange punch by Cassidy. 1, 2, 3. Short and simple. I'm surprised we didn't get anything with Miro and Kip Sabian after the match. But, yeah, Orange Cassidy defeated Luther in 2 minutes. Then we had Team Taz out in the ring. Taz, his son Hook, and Brian Cage. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs were not there because they were stuck in Texas with the snow. By the way, anybody, my Texas friends who watch the channel on a weekly basis, I hope you were all doing well out there in Texas. Lots of snow. I've heard they got 2 feet of snow out there. Here in New Jersey, we're supposed to get at least 3 to 6 inches tomorrow. So I wish everybody out there in Texas the best, and hopefully everybody is doing okay. So Taz calls out Sting. Sting comes out to the ring. He steps right into the ring. And then Taz says, "You just made the biggest mistake you could have ever made. You stepped into the ring against 3 other guys. That's a big mistake. And that bat you have there, that's the only thing that..." Excuse me. That bat is the only thing to protect you. The bat is the only thing that you have. And then Sting, he throws the bat away. He throws the bat to the outside, and he goes after his son Hook. He goes after Brian Cage. He Irish whips Hook to the turnbuckle. Then Brian Cage attacks Sting. He gets him up. Sting took a bump tonight. It wasn't the same old interviews with Sting. Sting took a power bomb by Brian Cage, and he sold it pretty damn good, if you ask me. He sold it like Brian Cage paralyzed him. Like he was holding his head for a long time. And no, I was not concerned for Sting because his head did not bounce off the ground like a damn basketball. So, you know, I like this. We had to see this before Revolution because if Sting had not taken a bump before the street fight, you know, us fans would be holding our breaths the entire match. And yeah, some people will still be because Sting is 61 years old. But, you know, Sting took the power bomb pretty good tonight, if you ask me. So, I like the segment overall. And I'm very interested in this street fight that they've been building up for almost a month now between Team Taz, Darby Allin, and Sting. So that should be very interesting leading up to the final 2 weeks before the Revolution pay-per-view. We then had the AEW World Tag Team title match. A lot of people thought this was going to be the main event, and myself included. This was the first match at the 9 o'clock hour. We had Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles. Now, I'm going to get this out there right away. I saw a lot of people on social media call for Santana and Ortiz to win the AEW Tag Team Championships tonight. They did not. They came up short. They had a really good match against the Young Bucks. Ortiz got pinned in a small package by, I believe it was Nick Jackson, and the Young Bucks retained the tag team titles. They came very close, though. Hit a street sweeper, their finisher. I thought it was over right there. I'm like, oh my God. Immediately to the cover, Matt Jackson broke it up. But a lot of people thought Santana and Ortiz was going to win this match tonight. I did not jump on that train. I was not one of those people who thought they were going to win tonight. In fact, with the current storyline that the Inner Circle is in right now, it doesn't make sense for Santana and Ortiz to win the tag team titles. Why is that? Because they're getting outshined by MJF and Chris Jericho. They're getting outshined by them as they came in as the top tag team of the Inner Circle, and now they're pushovers for MJF and Jericho. They will soon realize that, and just like Sammy Guevara last week, they're going to leave the Inner Circle, and they're going to be baby faces, and then when their time comes, and they're baby faces, and there's a good heel tag, it could be MJF and Jericho. Who knows? Santana and Ortiz will win the tag team championships. You gotta be patient with stuff like this, man. Not everybody can be the champion. I understand there's a lot of good tag teams in AEW. You got the Jurassic Express, Private Party, Butcher and Blade, Dark Order, Santana and Ortiz, FTR, many more. But not everybody can be the tag team champions. And right now, it's not Santana and Ortiz's time. Right now, it's the Young Bucks' time to be the tag team champions. So, in my opinion, they made the right call tonight by keeping the tag team titles on the Young Bucks. And then after the match, the entire Inner Circle attacked the Bucks. Brandon Cutler tried to come out for the save, but he got attacked by Jake Hager. Then Omega and backstage, Omega and the Good Brothers wanted to go out there and help the Young Bucks. Don Callis was not letting them. But then he sent the Good Brothers out there to chase off the Inner Circle, and they did not help the Young Bucks up. So that was that. I hope I made my point clear about Santana and Ortiz not winning the tag team titles. Their time is going to come, though. You guys, you got to wait. Like I said, not everybody can be the AEW tag team champions right now. We then had an announcement by Cody and Brandy. They came out, their typical entrance, and they were finding out if they have a baby girl or a baby boy. And it turns out they are having a girl with pink pyro going off. Congratulations to Cody and Brandy Rhodes. That is well deserved. Very happy for them. And Cody stayed on commentary for the next match, which was FTR against the Sydal brothers, Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal. You're probably like, wait, Matt Sydal has a brother? I did not know that. After last week, I didn't know that up till last week, that Matt Sydal had a brother. I was like, whoa, I did not know that Matt Sydal had a brother. They were impressive. I like the Sydal brothers. Matt Sydal is great. He's very, very good. Right now, it's clear his role is to have very good matches on Dynamite and to put others over. That is his role right now. He did that tonight with FTR. They had a very good tag team match here. FTR got the win. And then after the match, Dax Harwood was going to cut the hair of Mike Sydal until the lights went off. The screen had a mask on a table, and in the shadow it had the face of Luchasaurus. The lights turned back on. The Jurassic Express are in the ring. They attacked FTR, and they had a brawl for a little bit, and that was that. So, very good match by FTR and the Sydal brothers. Did not really care that much about the match going into it, but, you know, it was very good for what it was. And then we get some match announcements for next week's show and the week after that, and Revolution. We'll go over that as well. Next week is looking like we're getting Adam Hangman Page going one-on-one with Isaiah Cassidy. Jake Hager against Brandon Cutler, which, I mean, good Lord, that does not deserve to be on Dynamite. I'm telling you right now, that match does not deserve to be on TNT. Save that for Dark. We're getting Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. against Ricky Starks and Brian Cage of Team Taz. Should be a pretty good match. And then there's another match. We're getting the semifinals with the winner of Anna Jay and Britt Baker going up against the winner of Ty Conti and Nyla Rose. Should be good next week. And then the week after, of course, we're getting Cody and Red Velvet against Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill. They had a video package earlier on the night with Shaquille and Jade training for the match, and they were playing basketball. And I was like, oh, this vignette makes absolutely no sense. They're not having a basketball competition against Cody and Red Velvet. They're having a wrestling match. Why are they shooting baskets in a gym? That made absolutely no sense. That made no sense to me whatsoever. So, we're getting that. And then we're getting a 6-man tag, which is pretty strange, with FTR and Tully Blanchard against Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt. Why we need Tully Blanchard and Marco Stunt in that match, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know why we can't just get a straight-up FTR Jurassic Express match. And then if we get a tag team match with FTR and Jurassic Express at Revolution, it's going to make me feel like, oh, we just saw this past Wednesday. We're going to get it again tonight. I don't know. That's just me. And then at Revolution, 2 new matches added tonight, or actually 3. The winner of the tournament will face Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship at Revolution. We're getting the Matt Hardy Hangman Page match. And then we're getting a very interesting match called Face of the Revolution Ladder Match. So we're getting we're getting a 6-man ladder match at Revolution, and the winner will become the #1 contender for the TNT Championship. They announced 3 so far, and we got 3 more to be announced. We got Cody Rhodes. We got Penta El Cerro M coming off of an injury, and Scorpio Sky. So that should be very, very nice. And with there's 3 spots left, if I had to predict the 3 that make the most sense, I would put in Pac, Lance Archer, and Eddie Kingston. That makes the most sense for all 3 of them to be in that match. Just because based off Eddie's rivalry with Pac and Eddie's rivalry with Lance Archer. Plus, Lance Archer and Pac have had a couple run-ins on the past, so it makes sense to put those 3 in the ladder match. And then your main event was a 6-man tag between Eddie Kingston, Butcher and Blade against Lance Archer, Rey Fenix, and Jon Moxley. Very good main event. Pretty good for what it was. Moxley wasn't even about the main event, so I'm gonna skip the match. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you want me to have details about the match. I'm not gonna give that to you. You gotta go watch it. I'm sorry to put the Grim Reaper here, but you gotta go watch this match. Jon Moxley gave Eddie Kingston the paradigm shift for the win. But we gotta talk about what happened after the match. So after the match, out came the Good Brothers. Moxley's music turned off for absolutely no reason. He was just standing on the top rope, the second rope, and his music turned off, and he was still standing there. So I'm like, he's waiting for something to happen. So out came the Good Brothers. They attacked Moxley. Then Kenny Omega came out. He said, turn off my music, turn off my music. He came out with Don Callis, and he came out with a contract in his hand. And the Good Brothers were holding Jon Moxley up. And Omega said to Moxley that Tony Khan has given him a belated Valentine's Day present to him. And he's not sure if Jon Moxley knows, but he is happily giving Moxley a world championship match, and it's even going to be at Revolution. But the problem is, it can't just be a standard one-on-one match, because then you'll complain that you're still a better wrestler than me, and you'll want to come at me again. Even if it's no disqualification, you'll still come at me. I can't keep you down. So I have to go to this limit. I have to do this. And that's why on the contract it says that on Sunday, March 7th, I'm defending my AEW World Championship against you in a exploded barbed wire death match. Let me repeat that again. An exploded barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. That is absolutely bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers, ladies and gentlemen. Did you expect that announcement tonight? Yes. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Yes. I expected an announcement for Moxley and Omega to happen tonight. But an exploded barbed wire death match. My God. That is going to be something. That match is going to be something. Remember their match, 2019 Full Gear? That was the most violent wrestling match I've ever watched in my life. No joke. I think this this exploded barbed wire death match has a chance of being more violent than the match at Full Gear. And that's saying something. Because they literally killed each other at that match at Full Gear 2019. And I can't wait for the shills, the marks, the geeks on social media. Oh, I don't like this type of wrestling, man. They don't need to do this barbed wire exploded match. The rivalry calls for a type of match like this because the story is, after Omega beat Moxley at Winter is Coming, Moxley's still coming at Omega. He won't go down after the beatdowns from the Good Brothers. So the only way that Omega can put Moxley down for once and for all is a match like this. That's what the story calls for. That's the story that Kenny Omega is telling with Jon Moxley. So for all you babies on social media, be quiet and just enjoy this match on March 7th, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to forget it. Whew. And that is your AEW Dynamite review tonight here, folks. So, very good show tonight. And thank you all for watching the review / podcast, whatever you want to call it, here tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're at 352. The goal is to get to 400 subscribers before WrestleMania. That is the goal here on the channel, so I'm confident that we can hopefully, I'm confident that we can hopefully reach that goal by WrestleMania here on the channel, so I would appreciate it if you subscribe. Comment down below, what are your thoughts about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite? Leave them down below, and I will answer your comment. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in the video tonight. And follow me on Twitter at Conlon_Joseph. And guys, the NXT Reviews is making its return. And I'll be bringing you one tomorrow. We got the fallout of NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day here on the channel. I'll tweet it out once I'm done school and everything, like what time it'll be up and stuff like that. It should be up in around the afternoon, so look out for that. And have a good night, guys. Stay safe, and as always, stay classy.